you for having this opportunity.
Madam Chair, distinguished delegates, the first few decades of the so-called war on drugs that is grounded in a punitive, stigmatizing approach to people around the globe who use the internationally controlled psychoactive substances has shown how complex drug policy is and how many negative consequences it may and does have for numerous aspects of people's lives. Restrictive laws criminalizing drug use and possession, which are still dominant around the world, populate prisons and detention centers, add to stigmatization and discrimination, and have a disastrous impact on public health, among others, hindering efforts to stop the AIG epidemic in regions such as Eastern Europe and Central Asia. According to UNAIDS, up to 90% of people who inject drugs will end up in prison at some point in their life. The militarized response of some of the member states to the cultivation of plants, which have been for centuries integrated in the culture and way of living of numerous communities in different areas, is not only a wrongful and a disproportionate method of addressing the issue, but it also contributes to the devastation of the natural environment while infringing poverty and marginalization. Altogether, the current drug policies deepen social inequalities, disproportionately targeting those who are already vulnerable and marginalized. It often overlaps and exacerbates the social and racial injustice as well as gender inequality. This inevitably brings us to the conclusion that when such a complex issue is discussed and decided in the environment as diversified as the UN system, we need more stakeholders with different expertise to be present and to have a stronger voice. Therefore, we call on the CND and member states to prioritize and strengthen interagency cooperation among all relevant UN bodies and entities in reviewing the current global drug policy and planning future solutions as envisioned in the UN Common Position on this matter. Particularly, we see the incredibly important role the World Health Organization, the UNAIDS, the UNDP, the Office of High Commissioner for Human Rights, and the UN Women can play in this regard. Ahead of the midterm review in 2024, we call on the CND to strengthen interagency collaboration as well as engagement with civil society organizations which offer first-hand knowledge about the country-level situation, and last but not least, with people and communities mostly affected by drug policies. Thank you for your attention.